That's okay. Don't you worry. All right. I think we are going to be good to go. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Let's see if this is working. There we go. All right, guys. This is a fun one. Like, I love talking about LinkedIn. I love this topic. I love reviewing it. And honestly, this has been one of the things I love seeing students use, and it really helped them. To me, I've seen this when the job searches start, even while you're still in, junior, senior year, using LinkedIn to get internships. And usually when I say internships, it's when some of my students, they want some of the more Fortune 500 type experience. And if that's you, I've had so many success stories. Not, and I don't mean this as a credit to me. I mean it as a credit to LinkedIn. Like if that's your ambition and you want that corporate experience of Buccaneers, they've used it. I mean, I had one student who she was the quietest student, the most introverted student, Skylar. And she took some of these tips and tricks and was really proactive about using LinkedIn. And she was really proactive about searching for an internship where she wanted to be. Her background was finance, and she wanted to be in New York just to have that experience. And so she was very proactive, found an internship, went through like 4 rounds of interviews, all virtual. And she ended up getting the internship. They flyed her out one summer. And usually when you're looking at these internships on LinkedIn, you're typically looking in the fall, and the internship happens over the summer for these types of experiences, these big, large corporate ones. Not that that's the only thing out there. That's just what she was looking for. And so she interviewed in the fall, like 4 rounds of interviews, got it. In the summer, they flew her up to New York City. She's working on Wall Street in a major, major firm, and did well. They paid for her flight, they paid for her room and board, and she had a salary for 10 weeks. Had amazing experience. She came back here, finished her undergrad in finance, and now she's working for them in London. So, like, I don't want and I had another student, she came to me, I try not to do things, but she came to me, and this was a different year, and she had been through this course, and she was really proactive about using it. She wanted corporate experience. And she found 2 internships. Her background was HR. So Gabriella was HR. HR? That's not how you look at me, Blaine, when you doubt myself. She was wanting HR experience. And she came to me, she's like, Simon, I need help. I don't know what to do. I was like, what's going on? She's like, well, if I have to decide between these 2 internships. She had used LinkedIn, found the internships, done all the interviews, had 2 offers. She had to decide between Walmart corporate experience in Bentonville, Arkansas, or what is the parent company for TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods? Whatever that one is. They offered her another HR corporate internship in Atlanta. She ended up going with Walmart, and now she's with HR with Coca-Cola in Atlanta, their Atlanta office. So, like, LinkedIn is one of the best tool. I think it's probably the best job search tool at this age, whether it's internships or employment. I've seen so many success stories, and those are some of like the larger ones. But if you want more local, regional employment opportunities, LinkedIn is still fantastic. So what I want to do is introduce you to LinkedIn and maybe some tips and tricks to help you better utilize it, okay? And I can't take credit. This is not my presentation. I did some R&D. What's R&D stand for? Wrong. Why'd you think that? Rip off and duplicate. I ripped off something and duplicated it. It is Miss Ward. No, it typically does mean research and development, but I ripped off and duplicated Miss Ward's presentation. She used to give it to my class, but she can't do that anymore. So she said, hey, yeah, you take it and use it. And I love it. So we're going to use a lot of scenarios that she created, but the story behind that, Miss Ward was in a job that she didn't really feel fulfilled in. And she's like, I'm going to utilize, she decided, I'm just going to become a LinkedIn expert. And she did. She did all this research, she utilized it, and she really learned how to maximize the algorithm to make it work for her. So we're going to share some of her tips and tricks in here. All right, so there's a video right there for you if you want to, but the PowerPoint is available right here. You're going to have an assignment where you basically have to create your account, and you're free to work through it as we go if you want to. More than welcome to. So let me download that. And we'll get started. I'm going to go fast over some of the beginning parts. I think they're pretty self-explanatory. All right, so the first thing we have is, this is Miss Ward. Anybody know Miss Ward? Maybe you've had her. All right, so this is her. And this is her when she was in a job. Which job was it? I can't remember. It was a position, not that she didn't love the job. It just wasn't her dream job. That's what I mean. Like, it was a great job. She was happy to have it. It was here at JSU, but it wasn't her dream job. So that's what she was working towards. And we're going to talk a little bit about her history, but this is kind of the example we're going to be working off of. All right. So if we're being honest, let's look at what slogans really mean. Just buy it, McDonald's, but now because you only have $6. Happy Meal's $6 nowadays. Kmart, I don't even know if it actually still exists anymore, but LinkedIn, basically we're trying to connect with people for no reason at all. But that's not really true. We're connecting for a reason, networking. All right. So professional networking. Let's get started. So we're going to start from the very beginning. What do? Go to the website, go to the app. You're going to start to create a profile. So sign in, enter your email or phone. Again, if you're using an email, don't use JSU just because, again, after graduation, it will go away. Use your personal email address for that. Make sure it's professional. All right. You're going to follow through all these steps. We're not going to do that. There's a security check. You guys can work through that. Your region, go ahead and do that. Now, this is one people actually have a question about. Where's Hagen? Where's home for you? Hoover. So which postal code would you put? Yours here in Jacksonville or yours in Hoover? Why is that? Yeah. And that might be where you're targeting. Yeah, absolutely. So that's fine too. So a lot of people ask that question. So feel free, if you want to stay in this area, use this one. If you want to use your primary residence or maybe the residence you're looking to target, you can do that too. All right. Most recent job for you guys, we're going to go with I am a student. All right. Here's where you enter your university information. So what are we going to type right here? We type it in JSU. Jacksonville State University. Use the proper verbiage. Yes. All right. We're not going to type in JSU. We're not going to type in Jacksonville State University. I haven't graded resumes yet. I'm working on cover letters for the other class. What do we put for degree? Your major. Yeah. Undergraduate. What was your major? Specialization. Some of you may have a minor concentration as well. You can put that too. Start or expected in year. That's relevant. All right. You're going to have a confirmation verification email. Go ahead and proceed with that. You can skip this for now. It's going to ask you for additional context. Let's just skip that. We're going to focus on getting your profile started. It's going to ask you to upload a photo. You can skip that for now. We're going to come back to this. And actually, I need to update this. We're going to have that done in April. We're going to have our headshot made, but you still need to go ahead and have a profile photo for this assignment. It won't be your professional headshot, but we still want it to be as professional as possible. But we're going to skip it for now. Again, skip for now. We're going to go to continue. My little box is off. Sorry about that. But you can, if you want to pick some hashtags, you're welcome to do that. But if you're trying to be efficient, let's just keep going. Skip. Okay, here we are. Our profile is created. Everybody have a profile? All right. Here's where we're going to start working. Let's start with the first thing. Photos. When we're looking at your LinkedIn photo, what do you want it to project? What type of image? What is the protocol here? Again, LinkedIn isn't for just social networking. It's for professional networking, okay? Job, career-wise. You want a photo where it's only you in the photo. This isn't about you and your cat. And nobody knows, I mean, you guys know I love animals more than anybody, but that's not the place, right? It's about you. It's called a headshot for a reason. So it needs to be up close, have your head, your top of your shoulders. It's a headshot, a framed shot. We want to be able to see you clearly. You want to wear professional attire. Again, the purpose of this isn't for just being a social network. It's a professional networking site. And I'm going to really preach to the guys here. Guys, look at me. It's okay to smile. It's okay. You can show, it's not, despite what Dwight says, showing your teeth isn't a sign of weakness. It's fine. Hunter, you can, Dawson can, I mean, handsome. You guys are so handsome. So don't be afraid to smile. That's what I get on the guys about. They never want oathy. So, yeah, so nice. Okay. Guys, it's okay to smile. Girls, it's not a big of a problem, but guys, you know, we had headshots made, and I'm telling on myself again, I'm such a hypocrite. Please know that. I'm gonna be getting a headshot made again when we go together. Because my headshot, I had this momentary, I don't know, this momentarily lapse of judgment in my head. I'm sitting there, they position me in the awkward, position they put you in. And then I'm like, do I smile? Teeth or no teeth? Like, what do I do? And this battle in my head as the camera's getting ready to go click, and I did no teeth, and it looks, I don't know, it wasn't a real smile, I've had it up there for a year, and it's just like, I gotta get that fixed. So I'm going with you guys. I'm gonna show it to you because that's my natural smile. Do your natural smile. You don't have to show teeth, but it's okay if you do. Learn from my mistake. But smiling, it's okay. People want to work with friendly people. Brianna, just spit it out.
Do we get, is that like a driver's license out deal? You get one shot and that's it. You can't see what it looks like, and then you're gonna get it back and you're gonna hate it.
I mean, have I had that happen? Yes. But we got a small class and a lot. We're fine. Tell her you want to see it. It's okay. It's good. This is a great opportunity. Like, you want to maximize your opportunity to have a professional headshot made. Tell her you want to see it. I'm going to tell her I want to see it because I have not been brave enough to do that. And we've got a small class. I feel fine. It took 1 second to have that photo made. It's going to take 1 more second to have another one made. Go for it. And this opportunity, I'm going to say, go for it. Say, may I see it, please? Kindly. And be like, oh, I was like, why did she not tell me? Like, she saw that. And these cameras also, ladies and gentlemen, that we're about to use for our professional headshot, they're 4K. 4K cameras. They show every pore, every wrinkle. It's, you're fine. You guys are all beautiful and handsome. But man, that's rough on me. I hate those 4K cameras, but it's a really nice photo that I hope you can use in many opportunities. But one place I do recommend you using it, it will be after the fact, but go back and upload it to your LinkedIn once you have it. Okay. All right. Headshots. What's wrong with this one? Where do you start? I know, as much as I love the pup. Yeah, no dogs. What's another thing you would change?
The background.
The background's busy, right? Distracting. Personal choice. I understand it. Yep. All right. So yeah, those are some major things. What about these? These are more professional in nature. All right. So what's wrong with this first one? Don't cheat and read it. But what's wrong with this first one? Just by looking at the picture, don't cheat. Honesty here. No eye contact. Right. Well, it looks a little dark to me personally. Yeah. Poor lighting. Oh, who said poor lighting? Look below there. Poor lighting. That's just your vernacular, your everyday vernacular. I know. All right, what about over here? I mean, this is a nice photo, right? I would have thought nice, but how can we improve it? All right, we're going to crop it. Clean up the background, come in closer. He's got a nice, beautiful smile. Seems personable, approachable. And again, that's a big battle when you're going in these interviews. A lot of you are going to be qualified for these jobs. It's about who do people want to work with. And, that's nice. It's nice to have someone that seems approachable. All right, what's wrong with this one? Without looking. Oh. Hey, what would you change about this photo?
Too much body, cluttered workspace.
Yeah, awkward hand, slouching, cluttered workspace. I feel a little awkward. Versus this cleaned up version, right? It's more of a headshot. He seems personable. It's tight. He's professionally dressed, got a collared shirt on. It looks nice, right? You think it's not so nice?
Yeah. He's not in here.
Maybe, yeah. And there's a guy behind. So yeah, that's definitely wrong. You know what they say, cluttered desks, cluttered minds. So you don't want to give off that impression. I mean, it maybe us, but we're gonna keep that for once we're hired, right? What about this next picture with the horse? Animal, I know, and I love animals, but it's not the time or place. Attire, casual, you can't see her actual face with her sunglasses versus a professional looking headshot. She's looking clean at you, non-distracting background, beautiful smile, professional attire, nice appearance. So these are the things that we're talking about when we're talking about a professional headshot. You can have a friend take it just of you and crop it. It's fine until we get our professional headshot made. All right, but you do need to have a headshot on your LinkedIn, even though we're not having our professional headshot made till later. All right, background banner. I'm going to skip around. What's wrong with this one? The default. What's wrong with that? Hunter. I saw a smile. I'm going to take it. What's it telling me about you? Don't care, bare minimum, didn't put in extra effort, right? Yeah. So this is going to be the default banner that comes up. It may have a different version now, I think. But you don't want to leave it with a default picture. All right. The banner photo should add value to the written part of your profile. It's another opportunity to create a positive first impression. So Miss Ward, at this time, I think she was the director of our foundation, which is a huge deal. But her dream job, she was teaching adjunct part-time at night, odd classes. She was teaching adjunct. And this was our phonics lab in Maryland, the one year that we had before the tornado. And so she totally staged this photo, got into a class and made a photo to look like her dream job, which was a teaching position. That was her goal. So she was sure to highlight that on LinkedIn so that things might pop up, the algorithm would help her. It might be a conversation starter if a headhunter saw it. So she's very strategic about her photo. Now, you may not know exactly what you want to do yet. I mean, when I was in college, I know I did. So let's think of maybe some options for you that show effort, right? Instead of just using the default, we want to show some effort, but also maybe a little open. So you can include a workspace. You could include physical architecture. What's a cool place? Yeah.
Does this have to be like us taking it?
No.
We can get something.
R&D. What's it mean? There we go. Taught you well. Cite properly. Don't get caught for plagiarism. Hence this right here. So it could be a picture of Merrill Hall, you know, your home away from home. It could be a picture of, you know, I have a student that was a pilot. He had a picture of a plane. I had a student that was into photography and had a side business doing photography. I had a side, that was not the one he used, but that's just another example. I had one student that wanted to work at Delta. So they had, you know, photography in that banner photo that corresponded with that. So it's just, you know, it's open. It's open to your ideas. I will say, I'll be honest with you. I try to be honest. It's a pain. Anybody dealt with banner photos before? Finding one that fits, that sometimes that looks appropriate, it can be a pain. So just be aware, but it's worth the effort and the people will know what you've put into it. I've had other students do this following example, which I thought was very unique and stood out. A lot of my marketing students will do this. And it's something so two-dimensional. Oh, but I love it. I do. It stands out amidst some of the chaos sometimes. So this is something really clean, professional, unique. I don't know. I like it. And I see that sometimes too. So, all right. next steps. Where are we at? Okay, adding info to your profile. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to your me section, which is right up there. You're gonna go to view profile. All right. Go to your view profile. And from there, you should see something like this. You might know my friend, Rachel Green. Dollar. Thank you. Oh, there we go. You know Rachel Green. Friends? My friend, Rachel Green. Okay. Nobody left. Okay. Miss Ward and I love friends. All right. So Rachel Green, that's who we're working with. There's a little edit button over here. We're going to go there. First thing we're going to work on is your headline. Okay. So your headline, we're going to go to the edit button and then you'll go to headline. All right. And then this pops up. So it's got your name. Make sure your name is correct. Make sure you use proper capitalization. I know that sounds crazy, but make sure you capitalize the first letter of your name. If you want to include your nickname, I'd suggest doing parentheses or quotations around your preferred name or nickname. That'll be understood, implied. And then the headline. So it's automatically going to state student at Jacksonville State University. Again, Hunter, what do I think when I see that? No effort, no originality, no run of the mill. I don't really want to hire people like that. So this is something you've got to change on your profile. All right, you want to make it something a little more specific and ambitious. There's a great equation we're going to use here. Where you're at, where you want to go. Where you're at, where do you want to go? Accounting major and aspiring CPA. Honor student seeking accounting position. Feel free to have, a go at it. If you want some really cool ideas, use my friend Alex, ChatGPT. It's great to help you come up with things. But you want it to be professional. So that's the big thing. Where you're at, where you want to go. All right. So here we have Miss Ward's example. She decided to use, and I forget the line, what the line's called here, the little divider. Anybody know what that's called? We're going to call it the line divider. So she had a lot of titles and or designations that she wanted to highlight. And this is what she did. She wanted to let people know where she's at, where she's wanting to go, where she's at. She had a CPA, she had an MBA. She'd already been a business advisor. That was one of our roles that we had in our previous career. She's an instructor, right? That's where she's at. Adjunct, part-time, but where she wants to go full-time. She's in academia, and she was an emergency management doctoral student. Where she's at, where she wants to go. So, I mean, where she's at, you might have added instructor into where she wants to go. But that was her example. So you're free to do something like that. It doesn't have to be sentence structure. You can make it something unique like that. It's clean and simple. All right. Why you need a great headline. A good headline catches a recruiter's attention. A great headline also gives them enough information to decide that you're someone they want to learn more about. Pretend you're a recruiter looking to hire someone or design a new gadget. Which of the following two people are you going to be more interested in meeting, John Doe or John Smith? I mean, well, obviously, Apple's a little impressive, but pretend it said Acme Corp. All right, product designer at Acme Corp, or product designer responsible for creating the original iPhone, or worldwide bestseller. So something unique, eye-catching. You want to set yourself apart. Remember, never be vague, be specific, be unique. You want to stand out amongst the crowd. So again, where you're at, where you want to go. Here's an example. 2017 Jacob, 2025 political science student. Looking forward to law school or, I don't know. Yeah, seeking internships or law internships or I don't know. Internships in law. We can make it sound better, but where you're at, where you want to go. Marketing major seeking position with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Haley. So we use this equation, come up with some ideas. And again, feel free to use AI to help you. If you're not innately born with that creativity, use assistance, all right? That's fine. I really don't like that one, so we're going to keep going. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about is a summary statement. All right. A summary statement. Who's the summary statement about? Yes, yourself, Othie. That's correct. What have we already done in here that was pretty much like a summary statement about yourself in our class? What have we done that you kind of told me a lot about yourself in about 30 seconds? Yeah, you've kind of already written one. It was your elevator pitch. Who are you? All right. And it's got a lot of the important components in there. Of course, you can, edit it, focus a little more on your, academic achievements if you want to, focus a little more on your career experience if you want to, change up and ask. Maybe it's just to network. I'd love to meet with you. Maybe you're not asking anything. Maybe you're looking for that internship like Jacob. Maybe you're looking for employment. But that's essentially what we're talking about here. So there's something called the summary statement. Again, we would go to the edit and then to the summary statements option. Here's Ms. Ward's. I am currently on the journey toward pursuing a career in academia. I'm a CPA working at Jacksonville State University. In addition to my role as business advisor, I'm an adjunct accounting instructor. I've published multiple articles in scholarly journals, presented my research at academic conferences, and I have a passion for both teaching and, research. So it's basically a blurb about her to the reader. All right. With that summary statement, again, you're going to go to the add profile section, go to summary, hit the addition. All right. Here's kind of the theme here. Elevator pitch. Make it personal, make it conversational. You want it to be authentic. And when you write something like this, what am I going to recommend you do? Proof it. This is going out to employers. Proof it, proof it, proof it, proof it. Let me proof it. Go to my good friend Alex again. After you've written it in your own verbiage, see if Alex or ChatGPT can help you improve it some. That's what it's there for. It's an amazing tool. Did y'all like using it? Did it help you guys? Use it. Again, you don't want to lose your voice when using something like that. So make sure you do the original version so it's still you. But yeah, feel free to get some help. And it's all about, Hagen, you helped us when we were talking about cover letters with the prompt generation. Make sure you're giving it specific criteria. I don't want to lose my voice. This is going to be used for my LinkedIn summary statement. Please help me improve. Is there anything I should add? Is there anything I should highlight? Here's my resume. Anything you think I should, include? Do things like that when you're using AI. Make it work for you. It's an awesome tool. All right. You don't want to sound fake. You don't want it to be obvious that you've used AI. You don't want that because that's a turnoff. That shows, again, Hunter, lack of effort, lack of originality. But if it's you, but just a more polished version of you, that's a win. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. The next step in your academic or career plan, you can include that. Keep it, you don't want a whole manifesto. Keep it rather concise. You want to be confident, but not arrogant. What's the difference? What's the difference between being confident and arrogant? Oh, I like that. I like that again. Yeah, I mean, you can tell. What's the motive behind it? Just trying to display your skills so that you can find a job? That's fine. That's confident. Boastful, that's arrogant. So just be careful with that. I don't think you guys worry about that. I think the harder thing is getting you guys, what I find is getting you guys to brag on yourself. So you don't want to do that because it doesn't feel natural. So sometimes I'm here to make sure you are doing that. You leave stuff out that I know about you. And I'm like, we need to highlight this. This is a great thing. So not usually a problem. Small paragraph. You don't want to, again, you don't want a long, multiple paragraph. Yeah, as long as it's easy to read, brief, like a small email, brevity. Brevity is important. I like this. It's important. This defines your personal brand. Again, that's my grammar, punctuation, Sentence structure, all very important. It's basically your elevator pitch. All right. So here's an example of one. Othia, I hope you can see it. It says, I'm a recent graduate of Miami University's marketing program at Farmer School of Business and just moved to Chicago, Illinois. I was previously employed at Target Corporation as guest experience ETL with previous experience as a sales floor and human resource ETL in the Dayton area. I'm passionate for brand design and have extensive experience in visual merchandising, human relations, modern selling culture. I exhibit entrepreneurial mentality, and I'm eager to learn and adapt to different environments. I'm seeking creative marketing opportunities in the Chicago area and would love to connect with you. Where she's at, where she's wanting to go. And she had a clear ask in there too. So if you have something you're looking for, make sure that ask is clear. It's clear, just like your elevator pitch. That was something we focused on. So make sure you have a clear ask. If you're looking for internship, if you're looking for employment, the algorithms will help you get noticed with that. This one's a little bit longer. We're not going to spend time reading this, but you can always come back to it. This presentation is available on Canvas. Work experience. This is a big one. Everybody needs to have at least one, just like your resume, one item listed for a work experience. All right, so you're going to go to your profile, add profile section, work experience. All right, once we're there, let's start completing this. When you're doing it, start with the jobs that you've had, the duties and responsibilities, what you accomplished, how did you go above and beyond. This shouldn't be anything new for you. Hopefully, which I haven't graded yet, was your resumes. If you did a good job on your resume, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Copy, paste those bullet points here. All right, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. If you did a good job on your resume, which I wish I could have already had graded for you, but I can't. So let's look at this. Accounts receivable. That was her position. She was a clerk. The company was Gadsden Music. This was the time frame she did it, the location, and she put all of this into LinkedIn. This is what it spit out. And she input her bullet points, right? She input her bullet points. And one thing she added that she wanted to highlight here was that she implemented a collection procedures process that greatly improved DSO, day sales outstanding. When in reality, it's just a fancier way of saying that she called customers and told them they need to pay their bill. That's what she did, but she made it sound fancy, which looks good because she's wanting to teach accounting. So she's got some DSO in there. She made an improvement. She's a go-getter. She's working smart. She's using these bullet points or, duties to kind of highlight the job position she's wanting in accounting, teaching, increasing efficiency. All those are the good things. So she's really working smart with that. Here's another one. This was when she was a GA, a graduate assistant here in our College of Business, in the dean's office. And she wrote, while pursuing my MBA, I assisted the dean and his faculty and staff as graduate assistant. She provided support, proctored and graded exams, assisted in lecture and online courses, gained experience in Blackboard, which was our Canvas back then, and assisted faculty with research, which is one of the requirements for teaching full-time. She's making sure she uses this information to target the job that she wants, which is where she has to do all this. So she's working smart, and that's really the focus here. She's talking about a job. She's trying to get a full-time job doing these things. So she's highlighting those skills, those traits, those accomplishments, things that she's already done to heighten her employability. Make sense? We're just working smart here. All right. Next section. Add a profile section. We're going to move on to education. All right. This is, we've already been through this already. So degree would be bachelor's, field of study, marketing management, accounting, finance, economics, political science, integrated studies with a focus, in history and business, whatever the case may be, put that here. And then we want to highlight your activities and societies. All right, so here you want to be sure to list any academic and extracurricular achievements. Maybe you participated in a CFA competition, a certified financial analyst competition. Maybe you were a officer with a fraternity. Maybe you helped volunteer at a bed build for Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Maybe you guys signed up to come to the AmFirst Big Time with AmFirst Federal Credit Union event coming up. Maybe you held a leadership role. Maybe you were part of the whatever society. Maybe you were on a student representative on some type of committee, whatever it is. Maybe you made the dean's list. Maybe you made the president's list, whatever that is. We want to highlight that here. All right. And include your college major, your minor. That's a necessity. I can't tell you how many times students will not put that information in up here. And I'm going to count off big points. This is vital information. Employers, recruiters want to know where your background's in. So be sure you do that. You can add your GPA, but when do we do that, guys? You can add it now. Yeah, sorry. That was a trick question. Only if it's 3.5 and above. All right. And if you want to highlight, I think it was Othie or Dawson, you asked about your major GPA. If you want to do that, we can find a way to incorporate that too. If it's a little bit higher. That I thought that was a great idea, actually. So here's an example just of a listing, the way it comes out. After inputting some of this information. So I thought that was neat. That's just kind of what it's going to look like. All right. Volunteer experience. Othie, Norma, Haley, I know you guys all got this. We just did this other Saturday. All right. We want to highlight, you can have another section with volunteer experience. So same thing. Any volunteer service would be nice, but especially if it's related to your field of study. For example, I think, yeah, I've got it in here. So I think Lauren was my only accounting. No, Dylan, accounting, right? Dylan, I don't know if they still do this anymore, but back in my day, we had Impact Alabama, where our accounting students would go volunteer in the spring and prepare tax returns for low income families. So that's a volunteer experience, and it's related to my field. That's what we call a win-win, right? We can do volunteer experience like we did with the bed builds, and that's great and wonderful. But if you can work smart, go for it. I guess I was going to talk about you, Brianna, with your elevator pitch competition, but that might be extracurricular, school related, so that might not be relevant. But maybe you serve on a marketing team or maybe you serve as a marketing chair for the Financial Management Association. That's relevant to your field and it's volunteer experience. So if you can work smart, go for it. It's a great thing. Yeah, just try to. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's a great idea. So Department of Interior. Check that out. Miss Ward would also, again, she's a CPA by background. And so she volunteered, she joined an accounting society. It was the Birmingham Young CPAs and the Alabama Society of CPAs. And she hosted one little like workshop. So that was on there. Again, teaching accounting, working smart. And then she served as a coordinator for events for the young CPAs in Birmingham. So she's very strategic about what she's doing. I mean, she's giving back because she wants to, but she's working the system, right? Looks great on a resume, looks great on LinkedIn. All right, there's another section which LinkedIn is famous for. Do y'all know about this? The skills section. Let's talk about it. All right, so add profile section, we're going to talk about skills. What kind of skills do we want to talk about here? Generic, fluffy ones? You can have some, sure. But we really want to try to stand out, just like we talked about with the resume section, which we've already been over this. So again, Very specific, concrete skills stand out. Vague ones, sure. It's a dime a dozen. You can put those on there. But if you want to make the most out of your LinkedIn experience, put in the effort. Again, this class isn't hard. And you can do the bare minimum and get by, or you can put in a lot of effort and come out with some really great products, a really great cover letter, really great resume, elevator pitch, LinkedIn profile. This is up to you guys. So you can do generic ones. You're still going to get the points. But if you want to be creative, do that. Stand out. Put in the extra effort. So again, those are here. I do want to see at least 5. That's like standard. So pick out 5 Tableau that, feel good to you on your LinkedIn profile. You can see if you can edit that down there. See if you can edit that Tableau. Skills, again, this was a great idea. Look at the jobs that you're wanting. Look at the jobs you're wanting. Find actual job postings. What do I tell you to do then? You find a job that you want. What do you need to do then? See what skills are sought after. All right, if you have them, go ahead and list them. Again, if you don't have those skills, just like we talked about with the resume, if you don't have those skills, then work to get them. Try to do some LinkedIn learning, find some other training opportunities so that you can develop those skills and accurately list those skills on your resume and your LinkedIn. You don't want to be Joey, on Friends who says he speaks French, right? Blah, 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 blah. Anybody? Sadie? I'm gonna watch Friends. What? Come on. What? Not a lot? I know, and each one is a gem, minus a couple. When the whole Rachel, Joey, I didn't like that. I didn't like that one. But other than that, gems. Okay, thank you, Sadie, for that one reference. Let's see. And again, with these skill words, you can strategically place them in different areas. It's not like it just has to go in the skill section. It can go in your summary section. It could go in your about section. It could be in one of your headlines. It could be in some of your job duties and work experience responsibilities. So you can incorporate them throughout your LinkedIn profile. That's actually a really great idea. Okay, there's another section on here we'll talk about. It's called accomplishments. All right, so this section, again, we go to our to our profile. We go to add profile section. We go to accomplishments, and this is optional. You don't have to do this, but in this section, you can list publications, patents, courses, projects, honors, awards, test scores, your ACT, your SAT, languages, different organizations, professional organizations. Maybe you belong to SHRM, Gabriella. Being HR, students, the Society for Human Resource Management. These are things where you can list those types of accomplishments. Courses, if you want to, you could add a unique or professionally relevant course. What would a good example of a unique course be? Relevant, unique course that you've taken. Would it be Marketing 301? No. What if Brianna or Haley, my marketing scholar, marketing management. Okay. What if y'all took digital marketing or marketing analytics? I'm making up stuff. Social media strategy. That's unique. That's relevant to you where you're probably looking at. Absolutely. Maybe you took, and I know this is something everybody has to take now, but data analytics, it is unique. It's hot. All your MIS courses, something that helps you stand out, even not to pat us on the back, but maybe even business professionalism so that people know how to speak on the phone and carry a conversation and look somebody in the eye and shake a hand. These are skills that people lack nowadays. So something that's relevant to your background, your academic background, and where you might want to go in the future. Any special projects, again, Dawson with your CFA challenge, that would be a great thing to list. Honors, awards, languages, so on and so on. So Miss Ward, again, we do a lot of research in our roles as teachers and at the college level. So she's got several organizations. You might recognize some of them. Beta Gamma Sigma. Let's see. The CPA societies, Beta Alpha Psi, Student and Accounting Association. So some of these you might find familiar. She had different projects. These were some of the research projects that she's done. Has anybody here done a research project for any class? What's one, for example? Mhm. Okay. Pirates in the Caribbean, a detailed look at hunger in the Caribbean, 1800 to 1850. I don't know, making up some fancy title. That could be a project you could list. I don't know. Maybe you guys had to do, when I was in college, we had to do, and we had to do so many research projects. I hated them with a passion. I would, do an industry analysis on Toyota Corp. If I wanted to list that and attach it, I could do that. So something unique, special, feel free to list that as a project. Honors, awards, a little bit hard to do as a student. Still, it might mostly qualify as your education section, but that's fine. And if you had any publications, again, this is unique to us in our career, but just some different ideas here for accomplishments. Then LinkedIn has this wonderful thing called recommendations. I never use it, I know, but I want you guys to know about them. So this is where you can basically have someone vouch for you, right? This you could ask your supervisor or a professor or someone that's in a leadership position in the community to make a recommendation and make your profile more credible. So I can say, hey, Mr. Carter, would you please provide a recommendation for my LinkedIn profile? And it gives it a little validity. You say, yes, I know. You go in, click a link. I know I can validate that Amy Simon has skills in Excel. And it would be like a recommendation for me. We don't do a lot with that often, but it's there. Groups, join groups. Here's where it's at on your profile. This is, I think, maybe from the mobile snapshot, but groups. Follow groups that you're interested in, things you have a connection with. For instance, JSU would be a good one. Why would it be good? Or the JSU Alumni Network, why would that be a good one to follow or to connect with on LinkedIn? Yeah, we went to school together. We like to hire our own. And we have people all over the world. So it's definitely an inside connection that can help you have a leg up sometimes. Follow different societies, things that you're interested in. It can be different organizations that maybe an employer that you want to, be interested in. Maybe they put out, random posts or updates through LinkedIn, sometimes random news articles or, achievements for the club, for the organization. Sometimes they post that in their LinkedIn feed. So just a way of staying up to date, connected. So definitely do that too. Connections. All right. That means like peer to peer, what we're talking about here. Connections. This is not Facebook. All right. Be sure your connections are relevant to your professional goals. This could be classmates, colleagues, current, past employers, hopeful future employers. I would add to that list, professors, JSU alumni. You can search for connections at the top. You got to be careful though. You got to try to make sure you're finding the right person. Sometimes it can be a little confusing. You can see here with all the Cassandras or Cassies. So make sure you have the name right. And because if you click on someone's profile, what's going to happen in LinkedIn? I'm going to be notified that you looked at my profile. So this is not Facebook, right, Scholar? I know you were looking at me. What is she looking at my page for? Does she want me for a job? I don't know. It's things like that. So be aware of that. Depending on privacy settings, you might only be able to message people. So to connect with them, you can't just automatically connect. Sometimes you have to message people. And that's not a horrible thing. So here is a sample message. If you have to message someone, you could say, hi, Mr. Miss XX. I see you graduate from JSU in whenever. I'm set to graduate this fall, spring, and I'm interested in working in your industry. I was hoping to connect with you to learn more about your role at this firm. Just a little message to show your interest and make that connection. Odds are it's going to be approved. once you have been approved, if you really want to stand out and you really want to build that personal brand of being an overachiever in a positive way, not in a negative way, send a follow-up message, a thank you. A thank you for connecting with me. So this is just an example of that. All right. Once you signed up for LinkedIn, the emails will begin. Yeah, I had to unsubscribe. I was like, too many emails. But when I was in your position and graduating college, these emails gave me the hope I needed that one day I would find a career that I love. So I loved getting the emails at that stage. They send a lot of emails. LinkedIn can, and they're good emails. They've got some great ideas. They also let you know how many people viewed your page, which when you're in the job search position is always really like a happy thing, an optimistic thing that you appeared in X number of job searches, according to your profile. So it can be hopeful. At some point when you've reached where you're happy, it can be annoying. So just be aware of that. But yeah, here's an example. It said 9, the number of times your profile appeared in search results between March 5th and March 12th, where your searchers were. So you could see, kind of where people were that were viewing her profile. It was just a sample email. I liked it. There's also the mobile app. We all know that. Here's the hard part. So we've got our profile. How do we make it work for us? We're going to talk about how we actually use LinkedIn. We have to stay relevant. To stay relevant, you got to make posts. I was really bad at that. I'm a lurker, right? I have it, but I never used it. But you guys, you're going to be job searching. Use it. The more you use it, the more often you're going to show up in searches. The higher your algorithm is going to work for you. All right. So use it, use it, use it. Posting updates helps you stay on your network's radar and build your professional image. Mention your projects, your professional books or articles or events that you're attending. You can also add actual examples of your writing, design work, other accomplishments on your profile where you can share rich media or documents. What better way to sell your skills than to show employers exactly what you can produce? All right. Remember, it's not just about talking the talk. Let's walk the walk. If you did a really cool marketing strategy assignment, let's figure out a way to kind of capitalize and play on that. If you did a really great print ad, Haley, you made that digital ad, that print ad, let's showcase it on here. That could be a post. It's relevant to your field. It's relevant to your job search. I'm trying to think of another example. Dylan, you were involved in some Beta Alpha Psi event. Let's take a picture of that, post it. It's creating activity for you. And our activity is tailored towards where you're at and where you're wanting to go in accounting. So we want to be strategic, but we want to stay active on it. So the next few slides are some examples from Miss Ward. And she was so smart, y'all. She was strategic about her post. So let's look at some of it. How many of you have made a PowerPoint? Soon, that better be everybody's hand because you have a career research project to do, right? Okay, here's a snapshot. All it is a screenshot of her working on a project, okay? And yes, in academia, we make it a really fancy title, but you guys can do that too. All right, so she's got a screenshot of a project she's working on, and then she puts a little bit of a blurb above it. And you could do the same thing, what do we say? Hagen, pirate life in 1800 to 1850. The threat of famine upon pillagers. I don't know, making up something fancy. All right, we do that. We say why we're doing it. We make a post. It's smart. It's relevant to where you're at, where you want to go. It's getting you activity. Okay, this is a simple post. I know you guys have a million presentations you're probably working on throughout your academic career here at JSU. Something easy to do. This was Miss Ward at a little CPA event. Literally, it's a piece of paper. It's nothing fancy, but she saw an opportunity. Again, she's in her LinkedIn mode, right? She's like, I'm going to capitalize on this. Nobody else had their picture made. She went up to the lady afterwards and said, can we stage a photo? Genius. So she has a photo. It's something to do with her CPA. Up here, she is able to provide context. I've successfully completed the CPA Leadership Academy. Oh, sounds great, right? relevant to where she's at, relevant to where she's wanting to go to teach accounting full time. It's smart. It's a simple post. She just went up to somebody afterwards, said, hey, can we take this picture? Here's another screenshot of a title slide of her presentation. Working smart. It's got a little bit of her job where she was at the time. I take it back. She wasn't at the foundation. She was a small business business advisor. That's what she was at this time. And so at this time, she was doing a presentation for the Small Business Administration. Screenshot, provide some context, post it. It gets activity. It's related. It's educational. It's in her field. It was academic. It was professional. Win, win, win. All right, look at this photo. How do we know it's Sage? What's the dead giveaway? How do you know this is the stage photo? Yeah, her nameplate. It's facing the wrong way, but she wanted the reader to see it, or the viewer to see it. I'm sorry. So, and she was so strategic. Again, what does she have in here? A little bit about her. She's got her name for name iteration. Bob Vance, Vance Refrigeration. Danny Rubin, Rubin Education. Cassie Chandler, hire me to be your full-time accounting instructor. All right. She's got an accounting book, strategically placed. She's got her emergency management book, where she's a doctoral student. We learned in her student headline. All right. She's got her SBA materials right here where she's at right now. Just strategically placed. All right. How many of you have a desk right now with a million different things spread across it? You've got, you're balancing fraternity, you're balancing academic, you're balancing work, you got your, name tag from work. You've got this all, we can stage this. We can use this to our advantage. And you can just, post about, trying to balance life, ready for spring break coming up. Work smart, work smart. We used to go to a lot of conferences with our jobs. So this is just her name tag and one of the programs at a conference. Okay. This is her just attending an event. Othi, you came to this year, the Economic Forum. She got a picture with the presenter, took a picture of the agenda program. Great post. Talks about it. Didn't even have to do anything. She just attended, but it's a relevant post. This was another event she attended as a doctoral student. She was just there, but she put some relevant photos. It was relevant to where she could humbly brag that she's in a doctoral program. Hey, hire me. Again, that's what she's saying. Hire me, hire me. I'm going to have my PhD soon. So smart. This was her volunteering at a student event for JSU. Loves JSU, loves students, all good branding, right? She's strategically placing this. Oh, and now I think that was emergency management as well, too. So that had an added bonus. She's getting ready for a presentation at a conference. So again, humble, it's a brag, but it's not arrogance. She worked hard. It's okay. It's not being arrogant. It's a humble brag. Her class, one of her classes got a shout out, forensic accounting, got a shout out in a JSU publication. What did she do? She tooted that horn, shared it on LinkedIn. Again, what does she want to be hired full-time as? Accounting instructor. Her accounting class got a special shout out. Wonderful material. So you're thinking about things like this constantly. And because of that, a person, I think it was from Ernst & Young, they reached out to her. They saw that post and reached out to her. So it was truly, it was working. She's getting noticed. And this was a message, let's see, she received from a graduate at another university. Hello, I'm getting ready to take the CPA exam. I'm asking, just somebody reaching out to her and starting a conversation, another student starting a conversation, just being proactive. Wonderful thing, wonderful thing. All right, so we need to create material. We need to post often, post strategically to stay relevant, stay noticed, to get noticed by those headhunters, whether it's for an internship or a job opportunity. Other advice, just, manage your privacy settings to how you want it to be. Honestly, if it were me and I'm a college graduate, I don't have the highest privacy settings because I'm wanting everybody to see my profile. I'm not going to make someone message me to connect with me because I was desperate, right? When you get older, that may change. So you want to be sure to go back and adjust that. This is a really important, this is something you're going to have to do for your assignment. So edit your custom URL. If you want to share your LinkedIn profile, you can share basically your web URL. LinkedIn gives you a way at the top, edit public profile and URL. All right, you go to view profile, edit that, and you want to make it something short and concise. Otherwise, it's going to have a lot of numbers and craziness. So your name, if you have to add a number or two, don't go beyond 3 numbers. Keep it about 2 numbers if you need to, like Amy A. Simon, Amy Simon, Simon Amy. I don't know, Amy dot Simon. I'm trying all these iterations before I put numbers in. If I need to put numbers, okay, 10. Don't go beyond 2 numbers, but you want to keep it professional. And if you can, at all possible, keep it to your name. That's just going to give you the most professional look. All right. Another cool thing is that if you're ever in a pinch, you can always go to LinkedIn, download as a PDF, and it spits out this like sample resume. Now, it's not a real resume. It's probably like 5 or 6 pages long once you've got all of your information in there. But that's just a cool little feature. I don't know if y'all knew about that. In a pinch. Pretty cool. All right. Other advice. Guys, regularly update your profile. Use your profile to showcase everything that doesn't fit on your resume. Norma, we were talking about this. I'm not going to. Norma got in trouble, y'all. She got in big trouble on Thursday because she came up to me with a question that was brilliant and could have benefited all of you. So I'm going to talk about it now. So Norma asked a question last week when we were talking about resumes. What if I've got, all this experience and if I include everything I've ever done, it's 5, 6 pages long. You want to have 2 types of resumes. You want to have a master resume, which I forgot to mention this last week when we talked about it. A master has everything I've done since high school, right? I've got all those waitressing gigs. I've got all that small, awkward 1 month, 2 month employment. I've got it all listed on there because it's valuable and I want to keep track of it. But at a certain point, not all that's relevant to my career application. So I'm going to pick and choose what items I need to highlight on my real resume to send in for that employment position. So I do have a master resume that's pages long. Add it here. There's no limit to LinkedIn. You may have, like me, I have a stint where for like a year, I know this sounds crazy, I was like a guest radio host at one point. And it was so fun. Like, it was an amazing experience. I was on the radio and a DJ. Nobody would think that, but it's fun. It could be a conversation starter. And it's a place you have no link, Norma, on LinkedIn. Add it. So you can put as much as you want. Add projects you've worked on or conferences you've attended in the future. Stay responsive. Check your inbox. Be careful whose profile you view. Why is that? Because again, unless they have the pro version, I can tell who's looked at my profile. Make sure you target the correct audience. Tailor your profile to the position you're currently looking for. Keep that in mind with everything that you post. Don't say that you're looking for a senior accountant position if you haven't finished your degree. So also keep expectations realistic. All right. That's a lot. Any questions so far on LinkedIn? Let's look at our assignment for today or for this week. All right. So you have an assignment. I want you to go to LinkedIn. You're going to have to include a photo. Everybody, I know you don't have your headshot, but include a professional looking photo. Write a headline. It does not need to be student at JSU. You're going to lose all your points. All right. It cannot be the automatic headline. You're going to put in your professional summary. All right. That's that elevator pitch that we talked about. You're going to include at least 1 job for your experience. It could be job, internship, volunteer experience, 1 type of experience. You're going to put your education. I want to see the university and the school and the degree. You have to have your major provided and date of graduation. Use at least 5 skills in there. Again, you can pick what the 5 skills are, but put forth the effort. It's my recommendation. I'm asking you to connect with 5 companies and follow 5 individuals. All right. You will create a unique URL and you're going to use that URL, submit it for the assignment. All right. And there's a rubric right here too, just in case you need it. All right. So that is your assignment. This is worth 100 points. It's a big one. It's an easy one, but it's a big one. All right. So that's what we're doing. Now, guys, I'm going to, 1 second.